whatchamacallit, e-commerce?
We gotta talk about that because you're a boss. We gotta talk about that. Okay, let's go. Let me send a text out.
All right, I'm about to send it to my
people. Anybody that's on the line right now, that isn't on the line, sorry, that you think needs to bust up or is already bust up, and they want to take their game to the next level. Listen, we're in a whole digital revolution right now, and if you're on the wrong side of it, you're gonna get left behind this time. Don't get blockbusted out of the game. You don't even know what blockbuster is. Precisely. So let me go ahead and just send a text real quick. My screen might freeze for 2 seconds. This is what bosses do, multitasking. Hey, you gotta have a why. Yes, you got, what's your why? What's your why? Okay.
That's the most important part.
We live. Yes, King Rich in the building. I see you. Go ahead and get your people on. Oh, look. You know, it's at those levels now where, you know.
It's Tashi out there. Tashi!
I love it. Coming in thick and fast. Okay. So let's go ahead and let everybody know. The assistant life is calling, you know. I really need to be putting ads out for real.
Let me tell you
what the level looks like. Like this is crazy. Okay.
I've been thinking about getting an assistant myself because it's
for real. Like, you know, some stuff is like, look, this is what did Wanda say? Moving from a manager to a CEO, you know. CEO season for real, like it's overflow October. Like,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Like 70 days to 2021. What are we talking about? Okay, so you know I'm a little bit off key, guys. Anyway, people should know we're here every day 9 p.m. Like if you miss it, you missed it. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and I think this is how I fade out by just turning down slowly. That's my fade. Okie dokie, girl. Hey, welcome to Rich Talk. D, that Forex chick in the building. Wait, I can't even just bring you on like that. I gotta really give. Look, first of all, for those who are just joining, for those who are wondering why they're even here, number one, that means somebody thought highly enough of you. They thought that, look, you a boss. I'm trying to go to the next level. I'm trying to grow to the next level. I'm trying to level all the way up. But I don't want to go there on my own. I want to bring a few boss chicks with me. I want to bring, you know, those kings through with me. That's why you're here. And the lady I have on the line, the powerhouse I have on the line, like, I have been in this space called Rich University. If you guys don't know, get to know. But I've been in this space for 4 years. And when I say I did not see this one coming, literally, it's like 1 minute there was, it's like before D and after D. Like for real. I think, where did I first see this amazing powerhouse? I think it was on, it might have been the, might have been 40-40, you know. It may have been.
I think it was like 40-40. And then I kind of bumped into you, but we didn't say anything. Were you in Houston for the convention?
Oh my gosh, I must have a double.
No.
You say everyone's got a doppelganger, right?
It's true. But I know I saw Dr. China. She was talking to like her UK team, and I was like, okay, that must be Miss UK. So that's my complete bad. Okay. That's my bad.
Yeah, that's possible. You know, me and Dr. China have been rolling deep for like a good 10 years now. So yeah, that's possible. But like in the flesh, like, well, it's still not even in the flesh. Don't you think? Now let's just talk about that for a split second. I'm still in the introductory stage, like introducing you to the floor. But don't you think it's like mind blowing how we can be in a space and we feel like so connected to people, and you feel so close, like they're your kinfolk for real,
yeah.
And you haven't even met them, like they're halfway across the globe. I got family in South Africa now, Dubai,
everywhere,
like all corners of the earth, and
it's
I
crazy.
Feel, you know, the same connection with you. I think it's definitely a synergy of like minds when we're in this space. Is that everybody comes in the game desiring something, and we already know it's the all God movement. It's all aligned, you know, by the Holy Spirit. So I don't even believe that it's us that, you know, that chose it. It literally it chose us. But going back to how I even, you know, knew that that Forex chick existed, I was blown away. In May, we did a 40-40 call, 40 days and 40 nights. It was a whole movement. Get your life. That was the reason why we were in lockdown with flat tummies and our brains sharp. Why people were leveling up to the next level, giving themselves pay rises, which we'll talk about again. Hold tight, Residual Friday. I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm just so excited. Tell me if I should slow down because I do. You know, I live in the ATL, and
it's the energy for me.
Girl,
it's the energy for me, sis.
It's the energy for me, right?
Yeah.
No, but I saw you on the New Orleans call. On the New Orleans call, you were putting that city on the map, launching it, like really lighting it up. And I was like, first of all, who is this beautiful, flawless, like your skin, like I was like, who is that? Who's this girl? Like, who she? Like, who that is? And like since then, like from glory to glory to glory to glory, like P5000. We'll talk about that in a minute because that's a big deal. But just for those out there, because I've kind of just gone all over the place, let people know on the line exactly who you are and where you're from, girl. This is your
definitely. So my name is Davinia Brathwaite. Everybody calls me D on Instagram. Like you said, I'm that Forex chick. I represent the city of New Orleans in Rich University, and man, I'm just blown away by this entire opportunity. It's been I've been in here for a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, and just the growth, the energy, the woman that I'm becoming. I'm here for it all. Thank you.
Wow. God is good. God is so good. So how does somebody like, what were you doing before you got into this space, first of all? I mean, I already know bits of your story, but what attracted you? We're talking boss talk and rich talk now. A boss is born or a boss is nurtured. Was it something that you had to be convinced of? Was it something that, what was your situation? Was it a down and out situation? We're going to talk the real, the good, the bad, and the not so pretty. So
let's get real with it. So I actually was not on the down and out side. I mean, let me clear that up. It's not that I was on the down and out side. I was a nurse. So I was good financially, but I was down and out when it came to the business and wanting my freedom back. Like it became almost like I dreaded it. Like I get up. I love my patients. Once I got there, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, my patients gave me life. But it was the entire mechanics of it. Waking up early in the morning, having to go in. It was like, I know I could do so much more. And then I kind of had it in me. I just didn't know. I think it definitely took a lot of nurturing from Dr. China and Logic and other mentors that I've picked up, especially Dr. China though and Logic, because I had it in me, but I didn't realize that I had it in me.
Wow.
So where I was working as a nurse, I was also working like 3 or 4 different jobs at the same time.
Girl.
It was a lot. And what this opportunity presented was a way for me to have my time back. Because working 20 hours out of 24 hours.
20 hours? What kind of patients are these? Like,
no,
20
because
hours, a whole day.
Listen, so I'm working as a nurse, right? And then getting off, changing in my patient's room after we clean the room and disinfect into my waitress outfit because I'm working at a restaurant.
Wow.
Like I knew I wanted the hustle. I knew I could hustle. I knew I could do it. I think I just needed some fine tuning in all of it because I was spreading myself too thin. So by the time the day was over, it was like, it was enough. I was over it. My only day off was Sundays. So it was a lot, but at the same time, it taught me and showed me the type of work ethic that I could have. And if I can do so much for a company that didn't have my name on it or didn't even call me a partner, then oh my goodness, imagine if I'm working 20 hours for 2 people, for 2 companies, right? And then I put that 20 hours into myself, like, welcome to lightning speed. There's no way you have to succeed when you dedicate that type of energy. And
that's an interesting concept, sorry to even cut you there because we spoke about that this week, girl. I got my eyes on this US 30. Hold tight. Every Friday,
looking at it.
I'm in the same place every week. Every week, I'm stuck in the USA.
They repeat themselves. The charts repeat themselves.
Every week. And I find myself, I keep saying I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to trade on Friday. And then what does it do? It does that little, me and you as 30, I tell you. I tried to file the divorce papers, but it just keeps calling me back. What was I going to say? You know, it's an interesting concept when you think about, you know, what actually employment is and what it is when we are working. It's almost like building somebody else's dream. So somebody had a thought, had a vision, had something that they wanted, and then they went and found, you know, a me, a whoever, to come and help them build their dream. And you know, we were even just talking before we started. You know, the past talk got started early. You know, wanting to start seeking some assistance and help so that we can basically run our operation, run, you know, the goals and the dreams that we're trying to get to effectively. So it's almost like if we give all our time, because 20 hours a day, that's a lot, girl. That's not even a lot of hours for family, for friends, for sanity, you know, for peace. You know, what about, you know, going on vacations or, you know, just basically living life? It's almost like you are, you know, you're owned by, you know, by the job, and their dream basically is getting built. What about yours? How much time and effort do you put into you? Because when it's all said and done, you are all you've got, and you are your best and biggest investment. Everything that you do should be invested into your human capital. So I love that. You from New York, right?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, originally my family's from Grenada in the West Indies.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Caribbean girls run it.
So originally from
That's
Grenada.
why you got that glow, girl. That's why you got that glow. Sorry.
We're from St. George's, Grenada, and got to Brooklyn, New York, and just went to school there, grew up there, and at 17 moved to New Orleans to go to Loyola University.
Wow! So you basically spent most of your adult years, your growing years in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah. I spent, Brooklyn is like where I got my footwork in, and then New Orleans came in, and that's where I found my womanhood. It was New Orleans.
And you sound so New York, girl. You just sound so New York. Don't let me do that accent. It's gonna be real embarrassing. I don't want to do that to the people. So being that, you know, I know that's where, you know, our amazing mentor, our amazing two mentors. We got two for the price of one. You know, Dr. China, and you know, Big Bro. Logic. That's where they hail from. You know, I had the good pleasure of meeting them all those years ago in the States in ATL. So how did you kind of rock up onto this floor? How did you go from being, you know, the 20-hour a day work week chick to the Forex chick? Like, what was that transition? Why did that even look like something that was available to you, and you know, something that you could do, or that even interested you? How does that fall in your lap?
So I say God has a way of working things out at the end of the day. He always knows exactly what to put in your life at the exact right time. So I actually wasn't even supposed to be in Forex. Logic actually knew my boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
He went to school with my boyfriend's sister in the 9th Ward. And so naturally, like, my boyfriend, he drives trucks and everything like that. So Logic, before he even met me, was trying to tell my boyfriend, his name is Taylor. Let's stop calling him my boyfriend. Let's just say Taylor. He was trying to tell Taylor, look, you know, you could own your own fleet. Like, you don't have to work for somebody. Like, you can do this. And, you know, when a woman steps in, it's kind of like, okay, we're going to multiply. We're going to do this.
Let's do this. Multiple streams of income.
That's it. I was tired, and I'm like, he mentioned it to me, and I was like, what is Forex? So I was one of those people who felt like, you know what, I don't need this. I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble's, buy every book. I can show you my bookshelf full of Forex books. I was definitely like one of those people who's like, I can learn this on YouTube.
Oh my God, that was me. Big mistake.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So after like a month, I was like, this isn't going to work. Who do I ask my questions to? Like, I remember me and my best friend's from Trinidad, and we'd meet like every day after work, like 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. If we had off on Sundays, then we'd spend all day Sunday literally on her living room floor with books around us and then watching YouTube. Like, okay,
for real?
Let's try this. Let's try. Needless to say, a month later, we didn't even know what platform to hop on to actually place trades. So I was over it.
I need to talk about that for a moment, because so many times, you know, we try and cheat ourselves out of a blessing by, you know, either taking some kind of a shortcut or, you know, the cheap way out. And I did it. I 100% did it. Like, I am stone cold, roll deep with Dr. China Bethley, the Dr. China Bethley, who brought this opportunity to me. And I mean, I got involved, but then I kind of fell to the background. Let me just tell you, I was broke, busted, and disgusted when I got involved in this. Like, I had no way of paying my rent. You know, my contract didn't get extended. You know, I was kind of isolated from a lot of people. I was kind of in that broke down. I call it mash up and crumbs land. You're Caribbean, so you know about mash up, yeah?
I understand.
But when you know, was presented, I thought, let me see if I can go on. Everything's on YouTube. And I thought I was good. I was like, you know, taking the notes. Yep. Oh, yeah. You know, I understood it. Then I would open that MT4 app, which is the app that connects me to the $6.7 trillion market, a free app on our phones. Hold tight, MT4 looks like this. Charts, baby. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, so I was that girl, and I felt really frustrated when I couldn't connect the dots. So I'm watching these videos, and there's so many. You don't even know where to start. There's no structure. There's no direction, and I just kind of felt. I thought, am I thick? I'm not getting this. And it was only till the day that I actually said, okay, let me take this thing serious for real. I'm plugged into the academy, and literally that first 2 minutes, you know, those videos, they are so ABC 1, 2, 3. They are so straight to the point. They give you such a rounded view, and they let you know, like, they take you on the journey. They don't just come
the roadmap
like boom bang, you know, support and resistance or Fibonacci's and all. Because I'm not a jargon girl. I'm straight basic. Like, I need things broken down the real. I don't need to know the fancy schmancy. Just say line. Don't say, you know, MA cross. I mean, you can say it now because, you know, I've leveled up. But, you know, those days, I just really wanted it, you know, the real. So hearing you say that you did all these books, you did all this research, I think that's really important for some people to hear, because they really think that, you know, I'm going to do this thing myself. I'm going to teach myself. That's almost like, you know, that's so disrespectful to a $6.7 trillion a day industry, really first and foremost. Like, there's no bigger market in the world. So why do you think you're going to come along and press your two buttons on your remote, and then you're going to be able to, you know, maximize? It's almost like going on YouTube to do a PhD and then thinking you're going to learn how to do open heart surgery.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's like going to medical school on YouTube. Like, it's impossible. I mean, you can probably get the gists of it. You can know how to talk it, but you're going to sound crazy to a doctor. Like, let's be real. Crazy. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And it doesn't. So that's pretty much how I got in. I was like, okay, I can do this on my own. And after a month, I was disgusted. I was over it. And I remember, like, it got to the point where I actually was turned off. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even mess with this thing. But in the back of my mind, and still working and getting up to the mechanics of working that job, I was more disgusted with the fact that I had to work where I was working at and the type of hours that I had. I mean, I only saw my family once a year. And
really? Wow.
Like, I'm the only one in Louisiana. So my family is between New York and Atlanta. And to see my family, I only saw them for Christmas, 2 weeks out the year. I'm big on family. My grandfather is my heart. My mom, my sisters, it's like my brothers. It's to see them for 2 weeks out the year, that's ridiculous. Wow. So I came back from Christmas break, and it was my birthday. It was right before my birthday. And I was like, I knew that when I came back last year from Christmas that I was quitting. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that before my birthday, February 21st of last year, I was
Pisces. Water sign chicks. I love it. I'm learning so much about you.
But I knew I was over it. So I pretty much just sent Logic a message myself. And I was like, look, send me the link right now. I have my credit card in my hand. I'm ready. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't need him to confirm anything. I just knew I was ready because I knew I was quitting my job.
Wow.
And for this to keep coming up, let's go with it. Let's see. What's the worst thing that could happen, right?
Do you know what? That's crazy, because just hearing you say that, you know, we're talking about Boss Talk now and how they raised, how they developed and all the rest of it. But to me, there's the spirit, there's a certain spirit of leadership, and there's a certain quickness of the you know, quickening of the Holy Spirit as well. You know, they say that successful people, they make decisions quickly, they make decisions quickly, and they change them slowly, meaning that if you're too slow making the decision, then you can't even be trusted if you're going to keep that decision, because you might be flipping and flopping. And people who are successful, they tend to be very, you know, clear on what it is they want. You know, you knew that the opportunity was there, you knew what your circumstances were. And just even speaking about, you know, not being able to see grandparents, loved ones, that is the essence of life. That is what, you know, that is what wealth is for me. My grandparents, my family, that's my wealth. When all's said and done, that's, you know, that's everything, especially in a time now, you know, when life is so precious. It's the world is crazy out there. You know, if you watch the news, you wouldn't even, you'd be shook to go outside. So to be in a position when you're stuck with, you know, working 9 to 5, 5 to 9 and all the rest of it, not even got time to spin around and, you know, wipe you behind, and then at the end of the month you've got more month left at the end, and at the end of your money, because, you know, as soon as it's gone, Peter, Paul, this bill, that bill, phone,
exactly.
That's not living. That's not living. You don't work, you work for a giving, not for a living. And your giving is the first part of your seed, what you start to sow for your harvest. Sorry, I'm preaching now. Come on.
I love what you just said.
Friday. Hello, and I gotta get into that. Let me see if I can play this clip real quick. I just want to see if let's see, like, I'm getting all high tech with it now. Because we're talking about going from an actual medical profession, which, you know, was very well paid, coming into a space that you didn't really know. But we know that when you come into this space, there's actually way more things on the table that you might not be.
Oh, you froze. No. Oh, maybe she's doing something. Y'all on live, don't worry. This just a little technical. Something is happening. I don't know what's happening.
Can you hear me?
Nah, I was like, you froze.
It logged me all the way out. It doesn't want me to show it. But I think I'll.
So now you're up like 3 times.
More Moran. I was basically going to run the clip. I was trying to get.
There we go.
Look, it's even saying that I've just left and I'm still here. Like, get with the program. But I want to talk about, you know, how quickly, how the journey, basically. We're saying a lot of these things, you know, things that, you know, people might even be in a situation now where, you know, they're working all the hours God sends. They're thinking about opportunities, wondering what more is out there, may even be thinking about Forex and trading. But those words to people sound very intimidating sometimes. Sometimes they don't even know exactly what it is, but they've heard it so much and just don't think it's for them. But there's certain things that naturally, you know, are something that we can use transferable skills, should I say. And I have to say, being how far and how fast you've reached, you know, within, you know, inside Rich, you definitely have done some of that. I was watching your boss talk in Louisiana. That's what I was about to play. When you were talking about, you know, where do we go to discuss ideas? You know, the elite go to golf courses, and you know, they go to there's a certain environment where, you know, wealth conversations are had, level of conversations are had, and where if you're in a room with a high level of conversation, then you have to level up to, you know, to match the room. And then where do we go? What do we do? And you spoke about Kodak. You blew me away. You just came with all the facts and figures. But the point is, how do you go from being exactly what you just told us about to then, you know, learning this skill, but being in the front of rooms, talking to people? What is that about? You know, we talk about impact. We talk, why are you bothered about that? I mean, we know that there's trillions of dollars available a day. You currently sit at what we call P5000, which is $5,000 a whole month. Hey, if I had a horn, I'd really need it right now. That's $60K a year. How did you? So you basically replace your old income with a Forex income where you can pay yourself daily. And for whatever you did one time, you get paid residually, which is like royalty checks. So how did that happen? What was that transition? And why is it so important to you to, you know, to put your city on, put your people on? And I need some tips, girl, because right here in Manchester, you know, you're coming for it.
I can tell you, this was not an easy journey for me. I fought the entire way through. When Dr. China says, you have to get aligned with the assignment, like you have to get into this on. You have to submit to the will of the universe. And I've always been like a knucklehead. Like that. I'm the one who's like, my mom is like, do the dishes. I'm like, why?
We've got a whole discussion.
I've just always been that one. And I think I needed the type of mentors that I know I needed the type of mentors that I had, because let's be real, Dr. China does not take any mess.
Oh, absolutely none. That's that Louisiana girl.
Yeah. And so, and Logic, he's very humble, but he's about his business. He knows what it takes. He knows what to do. And with the both of them combined, stepping into being my mentorship duo.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, powerhouse. It was kind of like, I have to say, I definitely appreciated it, because I know they've seen me stumble. They've seen me resist. They've seen me say no. Run away. And I'm like,
I've done all of the above. I've done all of the above.
Like, this is not something. Number one, I was extremely shy.
Really?
I really was. Like this.
Oh no, I gotta find this clip. I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, like, I speak to the people who are introverts, because that was me. I'm shy. I don't know how to talk. I stumble on my words still to this day. But after, listening to different speeches, listening to Dr. China talk, listening to the way Logic commands the nightclub when we're trading, listening to
the nightclub, yeah.
listening to and reading different books, for the book club that we have, there's just so many things that feed your mind. And listening to everybody in the community.
Oh wow, thank you.
Seriously though, listening to everybody in the community, it makes you like want to step up. That motivation. And then, like I said, I've worked so much in Louisiana. I've worked from restaurants. Bourbon Street is like, if you're from New Orleans, working on Bourbon Street, it's a tough gig.
I went there, I visited Bourbon Street only once. Yeah, me, my mom, and my dad.
It's like partying and craziness. And the one thing that I always said, it's such a drastic difference between the medical industry and the professionals that work there, and then working on Bourbon Street and having the conversations with people that wash dishes and clean the floors. And it kept sounding like the same story. Like, prison, got out.
Crazy, by the way. That was a whole, I don't know. That was a whole situation. I saw some things that I can never wipe from my memory.
Yeah. It's different. But hearing those stories, like, New Orleans has a deep history. The city's been through a lot with Hurricane Katrina, just the prejudices that are put into place here. It's kind of like, this is where you work. The rich is very obvious. They live in certain areas, and everybody else is just trying to make it.
Wow.
So going from, like I said, seeing how the professionals were, and then going into the nitty gritty working on Bourbon Street, it was like, let's change the narrative.
Wow.
So that really was the inspiration. Like I said, spoke to so many Black men just out here, and it's like, okay, got locked up for this. I don't know a lot of Black men in New Orleans who have not done some type of time.
Wow.
Once that happens, then it's like you're put into this system, and it's a rotating door that kind of just happens, because the jobs that are presented to you, what are you gonna do? You're used to making this amount of money. Now you're down to this amount of money, and then the cycle repeats itself. So my whole thing was, I'm in a space now with trading Forex where I know what it's doing. I learned how to trade. I'm good at it. It's retired me. It's done so much. And even before I hit rank, because I stayed at P600 for the longest. because I just wasn't a talker. I wasn't a talker. But
let's talk about what that means. What's P600 for those watching that are wondering what these words are and what that means? Like, what's a P600?
P600 is a residual income of $600 a month. It's pretty much meaning that you've only welcomed 12 people to this.
All 12? You have to introduce all 12, refer all 12?
I actually only told 3 people. And then they went and told a couple people who told a couple people, but it definitely wasn't by my doing. I was not what they call a builder. It wasn't by my doing at all.
I can't imagine.
At all. Like, it's just not my forte. I don't like that. But what I know is, and what I believe in is the academy that we have, the mentors that we have, and what Forex can do. And if people could hear about it, if I'm not talking about it, if I don't show the passion that I have for it, because I know what it's done for my life and so many others, then who's gonna tell me?
Hold that thought, because what you just saying right there, you know, like, who's gonna tell the people? Not being naturally that, what, you know, that's not even why you were in the space. That wasn't even something that you felt maybe comfortable or confident, but it's like the need outweighed, you know, your feelings, your comfort zone. And when I see you now, when I see the kind of, you know, how you dominate, you know, how you dominate a room, you know what's coming, girl.
Now y'all know
I
how
can't
you
imagine any other way. Is this playing?
That's something that came in this exclusive environment, right?
There you go.
That's how the elite minded. That's how they talk. That's how they build over golf. How many of us play golf? You can answer.
Wow.
When they go play golf, you know, President Obama and Donald Trump, they spend millions of dollars on their golf trips to, I don't even know where they go, because I don't play that. But that's where the elite go. They have their boardrooms where they sit and they talk and they plan. Where do we sit and talk and plan? Well, now we have a place like this, right?
Which people talk.
Now we can talk about things and different investments that nobody really knew about. Kodak. How many people know about Kodak? The film company. Cameras. You know that.
This was the best part for me.
Do you know if you invested in Kodak for just $5,000 about 3.5 weeks ago, that in one day it shot up 48%? And in that one day, if you had invested this $5,000, you would have came out with about 50 to 100 grand in one day. You wouldn't know that unless you were in spaces like this talking to the elites, right? Talking to people who have those type of conversations, because that's not something we're discussing at our living room tables.
Wow. There you go. There you go. Every word of it, facts on facts on facts on facts. Let me just give you a round of applause. And if anyone's got any questions, please go ahead and drop those in the question and answer box as we're about to wrap up here. I mean, time just flies when you're talking, Rich. When you're talking,
it really does.
You know, what stood out for me when I watched this, and hearing, you know, the background now, hearing, you know, you saying that wasn't your comfortability. That wasn't, you know, something that you was even interested in. And just to see how inspirational you are now, just to see exactly how far you come in this space, it's chalk and cheese. I can't imagine you any other way. Seeing those people so engaged, engrossed, intrigued, like I was like, wait a minute. I had to go and get on my phone and be like, what? Yeah, for real. But, you know, being in a space like this, I mean, shout out to my Rich UK family, you know, where our level of conversation in our group chats don't look like the regular group chats. We don't discuss people. We don't talk about disentanglement. And I don't even know what's going on in the shade room right now. I mean, I used to be all up in there. I have not got a clue. We're talking about the GBPs dropping. We're talking about, look at gold. We're talking about, oh my gosh, right now, if you put in your dirty 30 trade, we've got so many level up conversations. We're talking about 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. True. It's just a completely different environment. And, you know, us as a people, we don't have, like you said, places normally before this that you can go and even be privy to certain conversations. It's talking about Kodak, you know, that if you would have made an investment into it, then your investment would have gone from, I think you said 1,000 to 5 grand in minutes. You know,
yeah,
I've seen it. I've literally seen it. But how would you know that? Meanwhile, right, Right. Meanwhile, you're stuck on the right side, the wrong side, rather, of wealth, exchanging your time for money, whether you're self-employed, doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. But if you don't work, you don't get paid. Meanwhile, there's people like investors, there's people like, real business owners that have got systems in place, things working for them. When you came on this call, Davina, you told me, you were just running here, running there, but I'm sure you had a bag rolling in the background. I'm sure, on your MT4, money was working. My US Spirit has been working for me since 5 o'clock this morning. Like, it's already paid me about 3 or 4 times, and I'm just trying to squeeze another bag out of it in the next 20 minutes before the market closes. So let's just look at that lovely long candle. Yeah. Keep dropping. So yeah, like how I just, number one, not even how, I got some questions out here. I don't know if you want to ask me anything, but let's just go and see what we've got in the question box, because we definitely, I'm just so blown away. So we've got, how long did it take you to start trading with your real money after you joined this space? That's a great question. And and also explain the difference, or not the difference, but when you come into this space, that's a lot of people's concern, is that, well, I don't have the money to invest or to waste. That's what they say. They don't have it to waste. They have it to buy bundles and trainers, but not to waste on investment. But you can go ahead and explain that.
So when I first got in, I'm the type of person, and this might not be who you are, but I have an answer for if this doesn't work for you either. When I'm the type of person that when I get involved with something, I'm gonna go in. So I probably did the craziest thing ever, but after a week, I used to harass my mentors. Number one, and Logic will tell you, like, Logic was like he was a mentor on like another level. I text Logic at least 5 or 6 times a day. I know he used to be like, this girl is crazy. I know he did.
Even that access, sorry, I know you're saying something else, but people are hearing these words, and this is not people's normal life. Who can you text that has already got the things that you want? If you want to be a basketballer, can you text LeBron James? If you want to be a tennis player, can you text Serena Williams? We're talking about texting multiple 6- and 7-figure earners at any given time to get help with our 1-figure or whatever it is at that point. So sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
It was crazy. I used to text Logic all the time, like, okay, Logic, I don't understand this. And then I'd call him if he didn't answer, because I need to know. I'm not telling you this is the best way to go about things. But I was blessed to have Logic, who was like, if I text him, he'd be like, okay, sis. Like, we'd look at charts, we would show each other profits. Like, Logic went above and beyond in mentorship for me. So just with that, I felt comfortable hopping in. A week later, I put money in.
Wow, for real?
Yeah.
So basically, whoa, wait. So what you're saying is that you came in the game fresh out the gate, not knowing about the space. After 1 week, 7 days, however many hours that is, don't make me count, girl. I know I trade Forex, but my counting's still a bit off. And you went from going from a demo, or I don't even know if there was a demo.
Didn't even do a
straight
demo.
To your actual. You didn't do demo?
No.
You just like me.
Don't recommend it. See, I had some savings.
That's what I say.
I had some savings. And the cool thing was, what we have over here is we have educators that really, really show us the way.
Yeah,
so
for real.
At the time, Logic and Dr. China had put together, there was a breakfast club. And so I didn't know what I was doing at all, but I knew that they were putting their money in, and I might not be able to put as much of my money in as them, but maybe I could put in 10 cents.
Yes, for real. Talk about that, because people feel like when you don't know, you don't know. Access to information is everything. Being involved in a circle where you can learn an elite level of information and education that has only been afforded to 3% of the world, those who were born into money. That's a big deal, because we've been over here, chasing 5% of the wealth, being in the majority. Most of us got our education privately schooled or even publicly schooled mainly, and we didn't even know that we could take 10. You talk about turning $1 into 15 cents, or what is it? Is that that the right term?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we just say that flippantly, where meanwhile, there's people who, when they turn 18, they already have trading accounts, they have equity positions. They don't get introduced to Sally Mae. They don't get introduced to, to debt, basically, at university or whatnot. And so when you come into the space, I was the same. You was 1 week, I was 1 day. I did my education on Sunday night while the market was closed. It's so funny because we were doing 10K for the holiday, and which we're doing right now. And that's when I came in 4 years ago. It was 10K for the holiday. It was around this time I said, I want 10K for the holiday. So I ain't got time to practice. I didn't even have the money. I was trading, but I said, girl, I just, like you said, they using their money, so I'm gonna just follow them and do what they do.
That's exactly what I did. It worked. Like I turned, no lie, $100. Now let me just we're being transparent. The first $100 I put in, I lost it because I was gambling.
I did $50. I was the $50 queen.
Yes. And I used to tell Logic, I'm like, man, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm doing this. And he's like, no, you're over leveraging your account is what you're doing. And I'm like, Logic, but I need this to work. Like, do you understand? I just quit my job. Nobody told you to do that, sis.
Don't make me laugh. Like it's real out here. Like I got the
struggle was real because I'm like, I watched Logic, and I'm just gonna talk, but Logic, when I tell you he was inspiration, I watched Logic make, like, he sent it to me. He was like, D, I'm about to break my record. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh Lord.
And I watched Logic make $100,000 in 2 days. And I'm like at a standard lot size, and I'm like, get me in. Like, why?
I need to do this.
I'm like, what?
This is the thing. Like when I think about those kind of, that kind of income earning potential, no cap. I think how come I didn't know about this? We're being real, and you from the streets, Manchester, we got the streets out here. I thought that was drug dealer money. I thought it was only people like that who make that kind of,
the mafia.
Like no lies. I'm thinking, what, on your phone? Like what in the drugs are you selling on your phone?
I mean, he was literally recording the screen and sending it to me in real time. And I'm like, Logic, if you don't get me in the shit, he's like, sis, that's not what I'm here for. He's like, I need you to really learn this. So I watched the pair that he was in and I gambled. I said, I'm jumping in this thing too. And it went in the complete, his account handled the pullbacks.
Right. For real. That's a big deal as well, because I think pullbacks happen. Pullbacks happen in your life, pullbacks happen in your job, pullbacks happen in your relationship, and they happen in the market. And if you haven't got your feet in solid ground in any situation, you don't want a pullback to wipe you out. Just like in the market, you have to make sure that you've studied to show yourself approved. Number one, you have to make sure that you have the right amount of cushion, the right amount of, we call it leverage here, so that when the storms of life, the storms of the market, today there was Brexit news, that was interesting, Brexit. But you have to make sure that you are, you solidified, you've got your feet, like I said, like the house on the hill. At the end of the day, how are you going to know that without coming into a space where you have the mentorship, where you have, the leaders, where you have the 6 and 7 figure educators that you're following? Because I wouldn't have. All I did was copy, paste, and profit, literally in the beginning. So hearing you say that, it's so funny because we all come in, we don't know any better. Like I said, we've all had the same kind of education. We're not from this side of, this side of the wealth quadrant. So coming in, I was like, okay, it was 10K for the holiday. I had $50, and I literally wanted the 10K by the next day. How I was like, a million trades. My over leveraging, girl, it wasn't my lot size. So like, like Dee says, you can put you can have a whole $1,000, for example, in your account, and you can trade as little as 10 cents of that thousand, and you can turn 10 cents into, it's unlimited. Trust me, it's unlimited. Obviously, the more amount you put in, the faster it grows. I mean, that's just common sense. But I've taken 10 cents way up. I mean, I've no income claims right here. Plus, don't guarantee future. Yeah, for real. I love growing my account with micros now. But then my over leveraging wasn't the lot size. So I'm not those guys who come in here like, Casino Royale and want to put $10, $20, trading amounts that you should be using for 10 grand on your little $100. So that wasn't me. My one, I was Tyrone, the trade junkie, you know, crackhead Tyrone. I was putting like 8, 9, 10, 11. I might have 16 trades in at one time with my $50. Like, I don't even know how that's even this crazy. So yeah, I've seen plenty of blown accounts as well at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie.
I blew that account so quickly. I think I put the money in a week after. Within one day, it was gone, because that just so happened to be the same week that same time that I put that money in, and Logic was like, hop on the Breakfast Club and learn, do small lot sizes, D. And then he sent me like the
you
next
don't want to hear
day,
it. You're like, what?
He sent me the next day that he was making 100,000 at a 1.0 standard. I said, oh no, I'm going to 1.0 too. Blew it. Boom. It took minutes. I called him. I said, look what you done.
Mine was seconds. I remember the feeling. I'm just going to give you the real, because people come in this space and from the outside, all you see maybe is blue skies. People, you see the highs, you don't see the lows, you know, and there's a lot of learning moments. We don't lose in the market. We win or we learn. And boy, did I learn. I learned with, you know,
I learned a lot.
Seconds. All I remember, because you grow the money, so you know you might go from 50, you know, to 56 one day, and we have a beautiful, you know, trading growth plan, a rich plan that actually shows you how to go. We had one for 10K for the holiday, and the great thing is, you know, day one, you know, cool, okay, $3, okay, day two, oh, $6, and then you day three you might make a $15, and it was only supposed to be $9. That means you're up, you can stop. But then there's this thing called greed, where you keep going and you keep going. And I literally, it was like I think I grew the account maybe to, you know, a few $100s, which is a big deal from $50. And when you're brand new, you know, in your first couple of weeks. And when that thing started to, oh my God,
my chest.
I couldn't even talk.
I got sick. Yeah, let me tell you, because I'm very successful as a trader. I'm one who I've made well over 6 figures in trading. I've paid off my college loans. I've done investment properties.
Wait.
I've done some amazing things.
Trading. Come on, plus $5,000 a month. I'm 6 figures in trading. What I mean, oh my God, what are we talking about here? Like, I just feel like closing the laptop. It's a wrap. Like, cut. End scene.
But to get there, because people think, oh my gosh, well, you've made it. Understand that at one point I blew my entire savings account. I had to learn. I really had to say, okay, I'm done with the gambling stuff. Let me really sit down and focus and really learn this. Let me go back to the basics. Let me go back to asking Logic. I used to ask Logic things, and then I was like, you know what? Let me step back and do this the way that he actually said for me to do this.
Right. That's that coachability. Yeah.
That's it. And I wasn't coachable at first. I fought tooth and nail. I was like, no, you made 100,000. I need to make at least 10,000. He's like, it doesn't work like that. I'm like, did you hear what I said?
I need this money today. And you know, whole time, you know, the people out there, you know, we're getting a lot of feedback in the chat saying that this is one of the realest talks so far, so fun. I mean, I know people can really relate to this because, you know, from the outside looking in, or even, you know, being in a leadership position, it sounds like you're goody two shoes. Like you're just saying, like I'm always saying, 0.01 for every $100, this, that, and the other. But there's some real moments that you go through, you know, that you grow through to the reason why, you know, we're saying this. Let's see. We've got another question in the chat before we go ahead and wrap up. So it says, how did you get over fear of not wanting to speak or do lives? Was there steps that you used, or you just faced your fear and did it anyway? Like, how did you get from being shy to doing lives and, you know, all these public speaking engagements?
Definitely. So I can tell you my mentors pretty much threw me out there. Like, even with what you saw me, you know, when I was talking about Kodak and the investments with that, Dr. China came up to me and she was like, so you're leading the show. And I'm like, what?
She's good at that,
right? What are you talking about? She's like, no, the presentation at this time, it's yours. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Now I talk to my team, like, you know, I can talk to my team, but public speaking or standing in front of a room, that's not me. I remember my school play, like I had a 2-minute line. It wasn't even 2 minutes. And on the camera, I stood there shaking, like I was in tears. So it's kind of like, the advice I can give you is to just believe it. You know what you're talking about. you have confidence in yourself. I talk to myself a lot. I know it's like a weirdo type thing, but
No,
I need to see
in the mirror.
In the mirror. I need to see my facial expressions. I need to see it. I know what I know, and then do some research and add that to it, and then you're a star. You're a star. Practice. That's what it takes. Just practice and believe in yourself. Really believe in yourself. Oh no, you froze. There you go. You can hear me? Okay. I think your computer is messing with you again.
Can you guys hear me or see me? It's broken.
Now we can.
There you go. So
I was like, your computer's playing with us
technology
again.
issues.
It's okay.
Yeah, you know, haters are gonna hate. You know, they're trying to stop how we shine.
It's okay. It's
no,
okay.
I completely get it because, you know, being also, you know, under the leadership inside Rich, you know, particularly like you say, the powerhouses, Dr. China and, you know, Big Bro Logic. At the time I came in, Big Bro Logic was the background guy. He wasn't even, you know, the one that was at the front of the rooms and all that. And to see that growth, to see your leader develop into an even better leader is amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing now.
For real. As long as I've known Dr. China, girl, oh Lord. I remember when she was pregnant with a legacy and should have been like resting, like at home resting. And we'd go out, she used to like, you know, do you know Jason's Deli out there?
Yeah.
So she loved Jason's Deli because that reminded her of home, being in New Orleans, because they had gumbo. So we used to be in Jason's Deli up in there every day, all the time, right? And she was just so confident and natural at how she used to just speak to people and engage.
Yeah,
you didn't even realize that she was. Yeah, it was just conversation. And next minute, you know, with the different, you know, company at the time, but I'd be putting them in the shapers and this, that, and you know, then they'd be they'd be joined up, they'd be inside the business. And then she'd just say to me, I remember it was like, you know, a couple of days of even knowing her, and she'd say, talk to that girl right there. Go talk to that girl. I'm like, what?
That is how she is.
I don't want to be a
push you.
She's like, hey girl, hey.
But it's amazing because one thing, there's no growth that happens in your comfort zone.
Hey man, comfort zone's the broke zone. That's
it. It's true. If you're ever trying to like get to the next level and you feel comfortable getting to that next level, then that means you're not going hard enough.
You're not pushing yourself enough.
You're not. You should feel scared. You should be like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know this is what it takes to get done. And just go. Like, go with that gut feeling that we find ourselves battling it so much. We know in our minds are telling us what we need to do, but that fear is like,
it's the fear. It's the fear, and you know, every single thing that we want is at the other side of our fears. You know, fears, it's not even a real, emotions are unreliable, first of all. Making permanent decisions based on short-term emotions is crazy. I mean, that's not what most people, that's how they live, but that is again not how the people on the right side of the quadrant, those who are successful, they don't live like that. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not even a real thing. A lot of the time when you actually do those things that you rich table talk, I mean, a lot of the things that just to do it, you realize, look how fun this was. And thinking of it, oh my gosh, no, but I'm gonna be on camera and I'm gonna talk and it's not recorded and people are live and like, what can happen? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just do it. And a lot of the time you'll break certain like change or break certain strongholds because it's not actually maybe the thing. Like me, I've been pushing myself to go live on Instagram at least once a day, which I've been doing, and that doesn't. I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, but I've got my headscarf on, I'm not ready. You know, people don't know this Miss UK. This is like, you know, the this isn't Miss UK. This is Maren, the girl. And I just said, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Like, everyone's human. Just do it. And the doing it, it's not the fact, the impacts of the live. It's the growth. It's the fact that you're now leveling up, you're growing to the next level because you're just doing things that were not comfortable to you before, doing things that you didn't even realize you were procrastinating about because you were trying to plan them out maybe so perfectly, or, you know, oh, I haven't got this, oh, I haven't got that. Just do it.
That's
like,
how I was.
Yeah.
That's how I was. I was a perfectionist. I remember one time Dr. China asked me for, I think it was like a video, and I'm like, Dr. China, no, I can't. Like, my makeup isn't done, my hair isn't. I need a hair appointment.
Right.
And she's like, are you kidding me? Like, the people want to know that you're real. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about, but where I got my family used to put blush on my cheeks, like, you know, pat the face. It's all about the image. And Dr. China, my hair is not done. She'd be like, girl, get over yourself. And, you know, being young-minded and just not in the know, it was offensive. It was like, get over it.
Yeah, for real.
But then as you mature and as you realize, it was like, yeah, get the hell over yourself.
Like, you know what, though? It's basically, how are you going to say that you want certain things that you don't have yet? Like, how dare you have the audacity to, not you, but I mean in general, us, have the audacity to basically say, oh no, that's not for me, or that's not what I do, when you're trying to get somewhere and the person that's giving you the advice is already there. So how can you know more than, like, we always think we know best. We've always got this, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit arrogant, and it takes, you know, it takes training, it takes self-development, which is what is the best thing I would say inside Rich. You know, the billionaire boardroom that we have every single day that pushes us out of our comfort zone, that allows us to connect with other like minds that are leveling up, that have businesses, that are trying to juggle, you know, motherhood with this business, with, you know, with wife, with all the other things that they've got going on. Being able to use systems that save you some time, energy, and money, put those things in place, things that you wouldn't normally have access to. Like you talked about, that information, you know, information is what it gives you the knowledge that once you apply it, that's powerful. That's the beginning of your power. So without the right information, you can't even make the right decision. Yeah. And I know we've been on here for some time, so I'm going to go ahead and end on that note, because it's time to get mad today and make a decision. Make a decision for your future. Make a decision, not even for you, but for your children. If you don't have children yet, your legacy, those that are going to come after you and after them and after them. Because what you do today, what you do over this, what are we, about 70 days now, you know, till 2021. Yeah. It takes 21 days to make a habit, and it takes 90 days to make that thing permanent. Start now. Start making rich decisions that are going to change your trajectory, rich decisions that are going to change the outcome. It's going to be the difference between, you know, where you're going to be in 2021. Let's just put it that way. And if you're trying to go higher, you're going to have to do some things that you never did to get what you've never had. So, Miss D, the Forex chick, it's been an absolute honor and a pleasure. US 30, I'm locked in, just FYI for everybody, over the weekend. So, you know, I'm going to wait out, you know, I've always got a testimony on our Monday Night Live, our team session. So let's see what happens over the weekend, as you know, I'm stuck in once again. But have you got any final words, any final thoughts, anything that you want to say to me? It's been an absolute pleasure.
Definitely. It's been such a pleasure. I'm so excited to actually have this amazing conversation with you. And for those of you who are out there, just say yes. You'll either spend the rest of your life wondering what could have happened, or end up fast forwarding a year later and life is completely different.
Passing you by. For real. Okay, guys, so go ahead and reach out to the person if you're thinking, okay, what are these ladies talking about? But how do I get on the inside? I mean, I like this talk. I like how it sounds in this room. My friends ain't talking like this. I want to be with those chicks. Girl, I know. You can sit with us. Well, all you have to do is reach out to the person who invited you on. He thought highly enough of you, first and foremost, to invite you on this Fly on the Wall experience, the UK's biggest talk show now. It's replacing your regular TV viewing, and you're actually getting a higher level of conversation. So reach out to them, respond to the email that you will get following this call, and take advantage of the one-on-one private exclusive wealth presentation that you are recorded. And I'll see all you guys at the top, because it's way too crowded at the bottom. Hey, let's get it. Rich you, baby.
Rich you.
We're international. Hey.
Bye, y'all.
Hey. Bye, guys. Stay on to me, D. Happy Residual Friday.
For real. I'm like, oh, I just got my check.
Every Friday.
That check comes lovely, like clockwork. Give it to me.
Sometimes I forget, you know. I'm like, oh God,
me
that
too.
part. Oh, thank you.
I said, that was like, okay, let me go check my squirrel real quick and see what's going on over there. Definitely.
Bye, guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Let's get it, man. See y'all on that
fun tonight. Let's see. Let me go ahead. Bye, guys. Bye.